You're listening to the Betoota Advocate's weekly news wrap on Desert Rock FM 96.5.
G'day, my name's Wendell Hussey and you're listening to the Betoota Advocate's weekly news wrap. This week, the Bulletin, minus Desert Rock FM stalwart Bruce Hitchcock, who is back home in Betoota, is coming to you from the Free Settlement of Adelaide as the Betoota Advocate Roadshow winds its way back to the East Coast. We've got 2 stops left now, Canberra and Sydney, so make sure you grab tickets if you live in that part of the world and haven't already done so. Now, it's been another big week in news around town and across the country, and we'll start things off with politics. The Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, has told Muslims that they need to report criminal activity to the police, just like his church did after a 5-year royal commission. In the wake of the recent Burke Street terror attack, Morrison reiterated his calls for imams and other members of the community to be better at identifying radicalised people in their congregations and alerting the authorities. The caretaker Prime Minister explained that the Islamic community need to get the government to pay $75 million to investigate and make recommendations about how to better deal with the antisocial behaviour that comes with a secretive organised religion, like the Christians did when it became apparent that 20% of all Australian Christian clergymen over the last century were either committing or protecting perpetrators of child sex crimes. Scott Morrison said to us,
I'm a member of a religious community and my pastor knows what's going on in our church community. He would know if there was someone, acting up. He'd definitely be pointing that out and we'd be dealing with it.
And in other news around the nation, the brand Powerade has admitted that they are still trying to convince themselves that they're a drink for sports people and not hungover pieces of shit. The acknowledgement comes after the brand's most recent ad campaign where they desperately attempted to portray themselves as something that is designed for elite athletes. Shocking numbers have been leaked from the company, and the Advocate can exclusively reveal that 90% of their profits do in fact come from hungover men and women, with the other 10% coming from high school canteens. It's not yet known how the numbers have been received, and we are still waiting to hear whether the brand will drop the whole sports drink thing. Elsewhere around the country now, and we broke an exclusive schoolies story on the Glitter Strip this week. Our reporters were on the scene when a young man, entering a strip club for the first time in his life, tried to convince one of the women that he could save her from this life. The school leaver explained to the Advocate that although he is aware that the stripper named Minnie meets a lot of guys, he did form a real connection with the young woman. He reportedly gave her his phone number, email, and the address to his parents' house just in case she ever wants to get away from the strip club life and join him in mundane suburbia. He said to us,
Yeah, I just hope she calls, before it's too late.
And back home in Betoota now, a local real estate agent has been given a firm slap on the wrist this week. The French Quarter leasing agent told the Advocate that he's been reprimanded for releasing a bond in full back to a tenant this week, despite there being evidence to suggest the property's living room had been lived in at some point during the lease. The agent explained that his boss said that he is never to release a full bond back to a tenant unless the agency knows them or they are a friend of a friend. Company policy at the agency dictates that even if the property is clean enough and shows no sign of damage whatsoever, they should not be giving away the full bond under any circumstances. And finally this week, there's been some big news on the sporting front. An exclusive report from the Betoota Advocate has revealed that code-hopping superstar Jarryd Hayne is on the verge of signing his next big contract. The Parramatta Eel, who is as of now unsigned for the 2019 season, is believed to be on the cusp of putting pen to paper for a big deal with the Silverwater organisation. The move has blindsided many in the sport, with only a few Californian police officers believed to have been seeing the contract negotiations coming. Although the deal is as of yet unsigned, with all of the press coming out in the last few days, it is now firmly believed that Jarryd Hayne could be wearing green by the end of the year. We will keep you up to date with that story as it unfolds. But that is it for the news wrap this week. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to grab tickets to the Betoota Advocate Roadshow if you live in Canberra or Sydney and haven't got them already. And make sure you subscribe to the podcast in order to get your weekly fix of real, unfiltered and unwavering regional news. Until next time, I'm Wendell Hussey.